Hello everyone! I'm going to be solving some puzzles today. Today I have these 3 packing puzzles from NothingYetDesign. I actually have a couple more puzzles from NothingYetDesign, including a few symmetry puzzles and some 3D packing puzzles. But today I'm just going to be focusing on these 3. Hopefully I'll be able to finish all 3 of these before going to bed. But yeah, so I've been looking forward to solving these. Like, these 2D packers look just beautiful to me. I've been looking forward to that. I finally got my hands on them. I mean, like, it's been a few days since I got the package, but I only got the chance to unpack them today. But anyway, so I have no idea about the difficulties. I don't know which one is the easiest or which one is the hardest. So I'm just going to go from the left to right. I'll be trying Best Friends first, and then Pac Men next, and then Decoy last. I will be spending 2 hours, I think, 2 hours each before declaring DNF and moving on. But that's pretty much about it. I don't really have any other plans for this stream. So without further ado, let me just put the other puzzles aside and get started with Best Friends and see how well we do on it. But first of all, here are the pieces. Okay, so this ring light is kind of in the way. Give me a sec. Just put it out of the way. Something like this. I don't know. Yeah, it kind of works, right? I don't know. Alright, so these are the pieces, cats and dogs, and obviously I need to place them in a way that the faces are facing upwards. Okay, give me a sec. The lights are not doing very well. Okay, how about like this? A little better, maybe. Okay. Alright, and I also need to get these bowls unpacked. I don't know what these are supposed to be for. Maybe I also need to include them in the packing or something. But we'll see about that. Alright, so here are the pieces. How many pieces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pieces in total. And 10 and 11. If we were to include these two circular shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alrighty then. And here is the instruction. It says, go pack the pieces into the frame with the cats and dogs facing upward. The balls must lay flat, not stacked. Designed by Frederic, Boucher, produced by NothingYetDesign. Alright, I think we are pretty much ready to get started. Alright. Let me get the timer ready. And let's begin. So this is the unrestricted 2D packer, the ones I'm the most familiar with. But I'm a little worried about this weird shape here. Some of the shapes are some of the pieces are merged. No, fused. Fused is the right word. Fused in the middle of the thing. Like it's a little counterintuitive. The the shapes will need some getting used to, but we'll see how far I can go. And I imagine these circles must go into one of these gaps or something. Probably these will be the last pieces to put in. So for the time being, we'll not worry about it. Maybe they can also go into here. No, they cannot get into that this triangular gap. All right, that's good to know. Okay, I do notice some gaps here. And I don't know how many pixels they are supposed to occupy in total, but I am assuming when everything is packed in, I think all but the two of these small squares would be completely filled, and those two little gaps must be filled with these ball pieces. That's what I am assuming. I don't know for sure. At least we do know that these we do know which way these pieces are supposed to be facing upward. So we don't need to worry about flipping them around. So that's good to know. That brings down the number of permutations a lot, which is good because that reduces the search space. Oh, that's it? That didn't take very long. I was just randomly placing things and it just happened to work out. Okay. That was very quick. That was best friends done in 4 minutes and 24 seconds. I was getting ready to spend at least 40 minutes on that, but sure, I'll take it. That was very fast though. I'm feeling great about myself. And I just noticed that all of these pieces, even though the pieces are in the form of the cats and dogs fused together in a very odd way, once you finish packing everything in, all you can see is these pairs of cats and dogs neatly fit together. So it's kind of an optical illusion. It looks as though you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 9 pairs even though in reality the uh, pieces don't really work like that. But once you're finished, it's kind of neat looking. So yeah, that was pretty nice. I wish it was a little bit more challenging. Maybe it is challenging and I just got lucky. That's also a likely scenario. But cool. That is Best Friends by Frederic Boucher. Let's pack everything in and move on. All right, so next one we are going to work on is this one called Pac Man question mark, made by Osho, produced by NothingYetDesign, of course. And here is the instruction. Pac Man question mark, goal: pack the pieces into the frame with the eyes facing upward. Again, just like with the best friends, we know which face should be facing upwards, which is great because it reduces the searching space. Cool. So how many pieces are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces in total. All right. Maybe I want to zoom in a little bit. Give me a sec. Just a little bit. Yeah, how about that? All right. Get the timer ready and let's get started. Alright, I'm kind of worried because the frame is rectangular shaped, whereas the pieces are triangular or hexagonal shaped, if you will. So there will be some gaps and I have no idea where there will be. But I'll try my best. I'll probably use the small pieces for the last. So I'll just deal with the large pieces first and see where that brings me. So I can't flip the pieces. All right, yeah, that's good to know. Okay, that kind of looks good. Wait, ring light. Hold on. All right, just put the light away like this. Well, I mean, I I said I would deal with the small pieces for the later, but you know this is the only place the small piece can go. I mean, what I mean by that is only small piece can go in here. Of course, assuming I got the other pieces in the correct position. I am not sure though. Yeah, doesn't look like this is going anywhere. All right. All right. Maybe I need to rearrange some of the pieces. All right, hold on. Again, take the small pieces out. We'll worry about them later. We probably don't need to worry about them for the time being. Well, that probably doesn't make sense. But once we figure out the placement for the first couple large pieces, I'm sure the rest will be pretty. The rest will become pretty straightforward. At least that's what I hope. So I want to know whether this is supposed to be a perfect fit, or whether there's going to be a random void somewhere. It'll be easy. It'll be easier to deduce the positions um, if the end result is supposed to be a perfect fit. By perfect fit, I mean everything fitting except for the horizontal edges, right? Or vertical edges, if you will. Anyway, at the moment, I don't really have anything to say. Okay, I see there's going to be plenty of empty spaces once I'm done. So it's not going to be a perfect fit. So I shouldn't really try to uh, interlock each pieces together too much. There will be some spaces, and that's probably going to be what makes this puzzle tricky. So what I mean by that is I should probably try not to, well, at least try not too hard to clump all the pieces together. As much as this looks like it's gonna go somewhere, it's probably a trap. So should should keep that in mind while making attempts. With that being said, I should really try not to use the small pieces too early. Why is it slightly mismatching? Something is off. Like I am also considering the possibility that this might even involve oblique placements. Like maybe I am not supposed to be placing things perfectly horizontally or vertically. Maybe it will have to involve some angled placements. So I'm thinking that in the back in my mind, you know, like I am not 100% on that, but I do suspect that that can be the case, just just from the fact that there is some wiggle room in the vertical dimension. So like maybe I need to like rotate everything a little bit to make room or something. I don't know. Okay, that's the first time I packed all of the large pieces. But unfortunately, I don't see spaces for all of the small pieces. This one can fit. This one fits right here. But the other small piece, I don't think it can fit. But I think I'm on the right way. Maybe if I just change the places for some of the pieces, maybe I can pull it off. Alright, here we go. That took a while, but finally found a placement that can accommodate all the pieces. Alright. That was Pac Man ? Done in 50 minutes and 33 seconds. That was a lot tougher than I expected. And also it turns out there are no tricks. By tricks, what I mean by that is some oblique placements, some weird janky placements or whatever. It is just straightforward, just do it type of the thing. So I don't know. Could have found it faster, but I don't know. Like the whole thing was pretty tricky. Yeah, just pure tricky packer. I don't really have anything else to say. Well, not as good of a performance as the other one that I solved, the best friends, but still, I'm happy I got it done. All right, so that was Pac Man by Osho. Let me pack everything into the bag. Alrighty, 2 for 2 so far. Now let's move on to Decoy. Decoy by Stewart Coffin. Here is the goal. Pack the pieces into the frame. Rotations are allowed. Okay, this one's going to be a doozy. I can already tell. So this is a restricted opening 2D packer. Please don't mind the reflections. You can see the webcam and everything. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. I can't like just well this thing is a glass. I can't help myself. I can't prevent it from reflecting whatever it is. Whichever light it is hitting the thing. Anyway, so this is a restricted opening 2D packer. So the pieces themselves are pretty simple, but to actually pack everything in while also making sure that pieces must go through the windows, it's probably going to be pretty tricky. And by rotation, what I mean by that is like once you place the piece in, like after you place the piece, like I'm allowed to rotate them or something. Like I'm kind of curious because I didn't know that kind of movements was supposed to be something you need to ask for the allowance. Allowance is not the right word, but you know what I'm talking about. I didn't know rotations had to be allowed in the first place before you make that movement. I thought you can always make the rotations in the 2D packer, but I guess not. But anyway, let's see how will I do on this one. All right. let us begin. So first of all, let's look at the dimensions of this thing. So it's a 5x5, and I need to count the total number of pixels of this. 1, 2, 3. So it's just 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4. 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. So it's like 4, 4, 4. That's 12, 5, 5. Okay. So it looks like this thing is going to be a perfect fit. There's not going to be any voids or any empty spaces. The entire thing is going to be filled, and by that what I'm assuming is that the final piece is probably going to fit exactly into the thing. So let's see. Well, let me just put the tray away for now, and let me try and build a 5x5 first, because like I said, there is going to be no empty spaces. The thing is going to be a perfect fit, right? So I need to actually plan this before actually starting to throw the pieces into the frame. I need to actually make sure that whatever shape I'm trying to accomplish is even physically doable. So what I'm trying to do right now is I am assuming that the frame does not have the restricted window. I'm just assuming there, like, I can just place pieces wherever. And all right, here we go. Here's a 5x5 right here, and let's see if I can rotate or flip it in a way that the final pieces can fit through the openings. Okay, so this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work either, and this doesn't work. Let me flip it around. Okay, alright, how about this one? Okay, this orientation does not work, and this one, it can potentially work if the last piece is this S piece. If everything else is pulled in, then I can just drop the final piece in through this window right here, and it's gonna work. So this is a candidate. Of course, it might not even work. It might be a wrong candidate, but it is a candidate regardless. It's the first one that I found. Okay, what about this one? This one does not work, and this one does not work either. Okay, so let's try to work towards making this candidate work. Alright, so since this one is going to be the last piece, let's just forget about it for the time being, and just assume that the entire thing is already inside the frame, and I'm going to try to pull out each piece. And once I can manage to pull out all of the pieces, that means the puzzle is solved, because all I need to do then is just reverse all of the steps, and then you know, everything will be in the frame instead. So here I can slide this L piece to the right, and then take it out. And what next? I can also slide this piece up and to the right and pull it out of the frame. So far so good. What other movements can I make? Let's see. I feel like this is where I am supposed to make a rotational movement, because I don't really see any other way. So for example, I can like move the T piece to the left, and then maybe just rotate it like this. I don't know if this even works. but that's something I'm suspecting. But I don't know for sure whether that kind of geometry is allowed. So move T to the left and then rotate this piece like this. I don't know if this can be done or not. I don't know if this rotation is possible. But I have no way to check that because I am not working with the frames. If I had a spare kind of frames to make the test movements, then it would be easier to decide. But at the moment, I don't know. I don't know if it's even possible. Yeah, something tells me I probably can't make this rotation. Probably can't do that. I'm not 100% sure though, but it doesn't look like it's something I can physically. It doesn't look like a movement I can physically make. But let's assume that I can actually pull it out. Let's just assume. Then all I need to do now is just move the tip piece to the left and to the top, and just rotate the thing and pull it out. And finally rotate the tip piece, the small tip piece like this, and then pull it out too. So that's going to be the sequence. But there is one rotation that I was not sure whether it is possible, but we can try it out at least, just to make sure that this configuration is not valid. So first of all, place the small T piece like this, rotate this way and place to the bottom right corner. Now place the large T piece in and then rotate it like so. So far so good. Now, okay, here's the hard part. I put this P piece in, and I need to rotate this 90 degrees to the clockwise. Can I make that movement? Yeah. Well, I can make this rotation is possible. It's the other way around though. I need this rotated 180 degrees. Also, can I even restore this T piece from this point on? It seems like the T piece is a little stuck here. Okay, but yeah, oddly enough, this rotation is possible somehow. There's a little bit of a leeway that I can notice. Unfortunately, this is not the rotation that I'm looking for. Hmm. But maybe I can put the P piece in like here, and then maybe slide the pieces around to exchange their positions. You know, like you know, it's something worth a try, I think. So put it here or something, and then just like maybe rotate the T piece in a way that I can. Yeah, the fact that there's a little bit of wiggle room makes me doubt myself whether or not I can rotate this piece 90 degrees clockwise. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. All right. Also, why is the puzzle called Decoy? Does that name indicate anything? Maybe am I being trapped? Okay, you know what? I'm going to try to find a different configuration. Okay, what about this one? Well, so this orientation works literally. Only the small piece can be pulled out, and then you are completely stuck. So this is not the right layout. But what I'm trying to say is, the previous layout that I tried, as much as plausible as it looks, um, you can't get too attached to it because it's very likely it's still likely that I didn't immediately find a correct working configuration, especially because the pieces are simple. So I can probably make many 5x5 placements. So let's try and flip these. All right. Okay, so this configuration, I can pull out the L piece. Let's see if this works. So L piece can be pulled out, and then the small piece can be pulled out next. And then what? Maybe I can. Wait, hold on. This S piece, it can. So when you orient this piece like this, there's no way you can place this in. So it always have to be this way. Okay, so that's good to know. And similar goes for this piece. Okay, as well. So like you can't there's no rotations you can make to make it fit through the restricted window. You have to be this way up. Are there any other pieces that I have to be aware of that kind of a thing? Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's try to build the configuration again with that in mind. All right, so this one works. Let's start rotating it around and see if I can find any orientations where I can pull any of the pieces out. So far so bad. Let me try to flip it. Wait. I can't flip it. Flipping cannot work. Like I said, I cannot flip this S piece and this P piece. These pieces cannot be flipped. I can only rotate them around. So if the rotations do not work, well, I don't have any other choice but to try and come up with a different configuration. Okay, that's another 5x5. I don't know if I've already tried this one before, but let's see if this one can make anything happen. I don't see it. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything. All right. That is this is getting tricky. Isn't this the first layout that I tried before? Yeah, like we could take out these three pieces, and then we were stuck here. Maybe I can find a way around. Like I don't think I can pull any pieces out anymore from this point on. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, but at least you can sort of deduce where the pieces should go. For example, I can't place this P piece like this because there's no piece that can fit through this large corridor of the area. And if I place this P piece this way, then the only piece that can fit on the left side is this L piece, and then the rest is pretty much like a one way, and then you can quickly realize that this is not going to work. So here, you might say, hey, you can just flip this piece around and then you can fit it in. You are correct, but once I flip this piece, then there's no way to fit this piece through the window. It's not going to work. So I can't flip this piece. That's the problem. Okay, let's see if this one works. So first things first, I can take out the small piece. And can I make any more movements from this point on? I can move the T piece around, but that's pretty much about it. Yeah, all the other movements are completely blocked, so this is not going to work. And I don't see any rotations that they can also work. So it looks like I have to keep looking for other configurations then. Okay, again, small piece can be pulled out. Nothing, no other movements are available. Why did they name this puzzle a decoy? Like, it strongly suggests there's some traps going on here. Something extremely counterintuitive. Uh, but I don't know. Like, so far everything seems as straightforward as it is. It's just difficult. I don't know what they mean by decoy. I really don't know. maybe this large window can allow some illegal orientations to happen. Ah, hold on. I need to take this piece out. No, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Well, I don't have many choices anymore as to how to build this 5x5 layout. So I'm kind of lost. If I can flip this thing. What kind of decoy do they mean? Why do I why do I feel like this layout should work even though I already confirmed this is not going to work? But something tells me there might be some movement that allows us to make more movements out of this. But I don't know what that would be, or whether that movement even exists. Like I'm thinking like maybe I can just rotate the entire thing around. Like I don't even know, man. Yeah, I don't really see any other configurations. I could be blind. I've been blind before. That's also possible, but I really don't see any other way. So this configuration should somehow be able to get inside the frame. But But how? I can maybe make this kind of movement. I don't know, or whether it's even going to be helpful. What am I doing? Well, I think I should at least try and see if that kind of weird movement can be pulled off. So what was it again? It was something like this, right? Okay. Maybe I start from here and see if I can rotate the T-piece my way. Maybe it needs to be rotated the other way around. Hold on. Alright, so starting from here, let's see if I can make this work. So just drop it in. This rotation is easy though, Like rotating this way is easy, but I need it to be the other way around. Well, I mean, like at this very point, I could just place it this way, and maybe I can try to rotate the T piece instead of the P piece. I don't really see an easy way around though. Kind of close. Maybe if the T piece was like, no, that can't be done. Yeah, still no idea, but I still feel like this is the layout that should be the part of the solution. I just need to figure out the what kind of jank movement this wants me to do. Okay, I just noticed that the timer hit 1 hour mark, but since this is the only puzzle remaining, I'm going to just keep trying. Nope, still don't see it. Okay, give me a sec. Let me take all of the pieces out for now. Alright, let me try to look for a different layout then. So here's the thing. The T-piece, the location of the T-piece is pretty much unique, because if the T-piece was like here, then the only piece that can fit in here is this L piece, and there are no pieces that can fit in here. So and if the T-piece was in the center, then the only pieces that can fit around the T-piece is these two pieces, and then the remaining pieces cannot fill the rest. All right. So the only way this thing can work is, well, I mean, maybe this one can work. Hold on. No, it doesn't work. Can't be done. Yeah. So basically, the only place this T-piece can be in is like this. So along the edge, with the longer side towards the edge, and in the center. So this is the only way the orientation that this T-piece can be in. And once I place this T-piece, then there are not many other orientations the other pieces can be in. Like there are very limited number of placements that can be made. So that's what's been having me stumped. Yeah, I'm pretty much lost here. I don't know what else I can do. Why does it call itself a decoy? Like I don't understand. So what I'm trying to do right now is I just put all three pieces in the 90 degrees turned way, and I'm trying to see if I can just turn these three pieces at the same time, 90 degrees counterclockwise. It's not looking good. I can say that for sure. it's hard to manipulate pieces when you can only touch the pieces through limited means. I wish my fingers can go through the acrylic windows. It's very like I feel like I can make this rotation happen, but I can't really touch the piece in any way. So it's hard to make it happen, or try to see if it's even possible. So it seems like there's just enough wiggle room for the 3 pixels long to go against the 2 pixel long thing, or like just basically a 3 pixel long block can rotate on its own, but this frame has just enough wiggle room to make that happen. Just move it back and forth a little bit, and then you can, yeah, you can do this. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe going to be useful at some point, but as of now, I don't really see a way. I can't touch this T-piece at all, so I can't rotate it even if, like, I don't even know if the rotation is possible. Okay, so I wanted to put the pieces in this way. The only thing remaining is now turn this P piece counterclockwise by 90 degrees. And here we go. Okay, the puzzle is almost about to be solved. All right. Okay. Right. The rest is easy. Just put the small piece in, and then put the L piece in, push it down, and then finally drop the S piece in, and then we are done. That took a while. So it was all about finding that specific rotational movement that let me have that three-piece layout. So I'm still not entirely sure exactly how I'm supposed to manipulate those pieces to make that kind of rotations, because I feel like all I did this time is just wiggle them until it works, but I want to understand it better. I want to understand better exactly how the thing is supposed to work. So in terms of finding the correct layout, I did find it pretty soon, but all this time, like over an hour and a half, I was just spent over an hour and a half was just spent figuring out how to actually make the layout happen. But in any case, I got it done. So let me just undo the movements. So take out the S piece, pull out the L piece, take out the L piece, and take out the small piece. Now pull the T piece away. Rotate the P piece this way, and I think at this point I need to rotate this T piece clockwise to the 90 degrees. So that was the movement. You can notice I had to give it a little bit of a force. But when I was putting the pieces in, applying that force was not easy because I was not able to put my finger on it thanks to this limited window. But anyway, once I make that movement, the rest is easy. Just rotate this piece this way, take it out. I have to drop it out like this. So take that out, and then take the T piece out. I have to drop it out of it again. Hold on. There you go, T piece is out. And finally, just take the small T piece out and we are done. Yeah. So that was Decoy by Stewart Coffin. Yeah, as you can imagine, I am fairly embarrassed with my performance. At least I did end up solving it. That was a pretty difficult rotation. But you know, I learned something. So next time I come across a similar situation, now I know that that kind of rotation can be done. So yes, that's the takeaway from today's stream. Yeah, but anyway, that's about it for today. I solved all 3 puzzles that I was planning to solve. I solved the best friends. I solved Pac Men ? And finally I solved the decoy. So that's about it. Thank you for visiting and watching, everyone. Tomorrow I'll probably be streaming a puzzle game called Sliding Only. So that's it's a new puzzle game made by Port Ponky, who made this legendary puzzle game called Recursed. So I'll be checking it out. Like, it only came out a couple days ago, so hopefully I can make some progress on that. But for now, that's it for the stream, guys. Thank you again. Have a good rest of the day. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye.